up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Back in. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. They can't win. No new friends. No new friends. Football fans. Football. They sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah, yeah. Wake up. Wake up. The cake up. Raise up. Or make us do something. We don't want to. Bite down on you. Right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the white flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you block them all. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset you block.
Hey, everybody, it's the...
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
3rd and 2, Watson. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And it's taken in at the 9. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Now it's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Griffin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back to throw, Watson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. comes the Texans now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Watson hands this to Foreman. They find some open field here. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A carry for Foreman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And now out comes Houston. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing again is Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Watson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Griffin, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit... So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. So the second half of... Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Watson now to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Hopkins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, it's Watson. Incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
To throw is Watson. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. On first down, it's Watson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
And that's caught inside the 35. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And down inside the 15 he goes. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. From the red zone now, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans draw a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Watson, he's got a man, it's his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Caught left side, Hopkins. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run with Foreman, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for
second
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The thing...
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know, what you do. I don't know, you short a few. Don't make me have to lose it. Hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you a rough average. How many more do I have to put from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know, what you do. I don't know, you short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process, and you can't see me on the Loch Ness. You can proceed, but with caution, give the proceeds to my god kids. Older on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop quick, buy drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talk about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get the comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know, what you do. I don't know, you short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know, what you do. I don't know, you short a few. Oh no. Hey, Pete, let it ride out. We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, We want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again, We wake them up, the champs is in, yeah. Wake up, the cake up, raise up, or make us do something. They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. drag. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my, now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh, don't make me have to lose it. No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not a Philly, I thought it'd be colder.
Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, back under center, Ryan Tannehill and the Miami Dolphins face off with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of... Watson on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, with a pick. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say? Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 11th touchdown on the... And fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, here's Watson. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now Watson, and he finds his man Griffin. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
From the 50, it's Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Hopkins. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now it's Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either.
This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Over the middle, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got it first and goal at the 7. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue. Really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Back to throw, Watson. And his throw here is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans are in for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a
first down, Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that.
And that's caught inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson looking left side and has got a man. That's Hopkins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Watson. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air yet again, Watson. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
3rd and 2, Watson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Now a first down throw, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Watson now to throw, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Foreman. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the red zone now, Watson. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Watson. Throwing again. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. In for the score. Watson on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Normally he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From his goal line here, Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That's going to leave him with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big-time play there for the Texans. 45 yards. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st and 10, Watson. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Rugby. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh, don't make me have to lose it. No, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been process, and you can't see me on the likeness. You can proceed with precaution, give the proceeds to my God kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop kick, buy drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple $100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talking about don't shoot, tell that to police.
On first down, it's Watson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Watson now on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even... And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.